Here we are. To start immediately, we knew that excavations in this city of Nimrud, Sir Max Mallowan had found some graves. One had some precious material in it. So when we started cleaning some parts of the palace, the Northwestern Palace, there was an incident that the idea was to clean the area, the family courts of the palace. And there was one of the rooms that had been checked and excavated by Sir Max Mallowan. The excavator found the floor bricks were uneven. So he ordered the workmen to take them off, arrange the ground, and put them back. When they took the flooring out, they said, well, these are some vertical bricks here. So vertical bricks means that there's a vault down there. Started checking, and he found the first grave with wonderful material. And so he went on checking the floors of that, what Sir Max Mallowan called harem area, or that's the family court of the palace. And that is what he discovered there, 3 graves with huge amount of material and information, and we will see here. First, we should know that there are 4 major Assyrian cities and capitals that we had in the history of Assyria. Ashur here, the famous city where the temple of Ashur, the main god or deity of the Assyrians, and Nineveh, Dur Sharrukin, the city of Sargon, and Kalkhu, this is Nimrud. We know the kings were buried in Ashur because the German excavators there had found several places with empty sarcophagus, but the information tell us that these were kings there. So where were the queens? We have the queens now. This is a part of the city of Nimrud. It goes here. This is the citadel of the city. This is Tigris River going from here, and it used to flow just beside the city here. Now it has moved for a distance. Here is a closer shot to the citadel, where here we have the palace, and here is the harem area, or the family court. Here we have the ziggurat of the city, that's the ziggurat of Ishtar. The temple of Ishtar is just here, and of course some other, we have the Nabu temple here, some other parts, and here is the excavation building where it was built by Sir Max Mallowan, and we have a very nice small room here whom he built for his wife, Agatha Christie, who wrote wonderful stories here. She was with him. Here we have a plan for the citadel. Again, this is the part where we are going to talk about. This is the ziggurat, the temple here, and it goes on. The ziggurat of the city, nice mound, and during springtime. Here we have the main entrances of this palace, and it's flanked as usual with the winged bulls that we will see here. Now, this is a plan for the palace, the rest of the palace, and this is the area, the family quarters. Here we have the first grave that accidentally was found by Muzahim Mahmud, who was the head of the team. Here we have the second grave where it was the richest one, and we have the third one here, and then he found a fourth one, but it only had some pottery, some stone material, nothing left from the skeletal remains, but it looked like it was full of a lot of things, but they vanished. Now, the information tells us for the first time we know about the queens, the Assyrian queens, which we find here in this area. Grave number 2 contained the remains of 3 queens, and grave number 3 contained remains of another queen and some children. We'll see. The oldest one was Mullisu Mukannishat Nineveh, and she was the wife of King Ashur Nasrpal II. And we know from the document that she was the daughter of the cupbearer of the palace, which is a level of servant, something like the butler of the palace, a very high rank official in the palace. She was the daughter of the butler, and she was the queen of the palace, as the inscriptions say. Then we have Yaba, or Yabaya. She was the wife of Tiglath-Pileser III. Then we have Manitu. She was the wife of King Shalmaneser V. And we have Atalia. She was the wife of Sargon, of course, Sargon II. All this is brand new information. We never knew these names and all their connections with the Assyrian kings. 3 books were published about this material. First one was in 1997, I think. It was a small book. It's a booklet, but it was very nice, published in German. It's in German and Arabic. The second one was published in the year 2000, again English and Arabic. And the third one is the proceedings of a conference we had in London, and in 2002 it was published last year, and I got a copy just 2 weeks ago. These are some material from the first grave. The first material we had. It's all gold. It's a beautiful fibula. You can see the, this is the, if we can imagine, that's the natural size, and I have blown it up this way. By the way, that time, because of the sanctions, we did not have color films in Baghdad. I used black and whites and developed them myself. So, but you can see the details here. Here is an eagle or a hawk, and there's a lady here, and here she is having the head of a Pazuzu. That's the demon of the underworld, Assyrian underworld. A beautiful chain that was 46 centimeters long, double chain, and what the people of Iraq now call it, this is the Italian way of weaving the gold. So it looks like as if it was done mechanically, not by hand. Again, a beautiful stamp seal, but it contained inscription, hieroglyphic Egyptian inscription. We sent it, we printed out, and we sent it with a friend of us to Egypt. Some scholars said it was just a kind of incantation text. Now this is, again, we had 5 earrings from that first grave. And I had a surprise when I was here some months ago. A friend of mine from London emailed me and said, Donny, check the attachment, I think you know this. When I checked the attachment, there was a pair of these, offered in Christie. The same pair of earrings. And I made this photo in Christie's, New York, But thanks God, I could collect all my data and contacted Baghdad. We got some more data from them, and now they were willing to hand it over. Now this material is with the customs in New York, and it will be going to Baghdad. The second grave, which was the richest one, this is an isometric design for the grave. It would go down here, the antechamber here, and there was a door, then the main chamber here. Here you will see the tablet that was a kind of inscription. We will see it, and in here, this was the sarcophagus here, and two niches, one here, one on the other side, which had two alabaster vases. This material was in the antechamber. And when I arrived the second day from Baghdad, the excavator said, Donny, I only had to use a brush and clean them. I did not excavate in this. It was complete and it was empty. I just had to brush them. This is a beautiful lamp and some pottery material. This is in the antechamber, the small one. This is the tablet for Queen Yaba, where she is cursing anyone that will take her gold away and let his soul not rest but fly over. And thanks God we did not take the gold, we put it in the museum. And now it's in the central bank in Baghdad. It's protected. And this is the text. It's a beautiful text, royal text, clean, perfect. Anyhow, this is one of those vases. The surprise was when we had a German scholar working on the skeletal remains. He could get some of the remains that we found in these. He said that perhaps there are some remains of human brain cells in one of them. What is this? We still need to study this. And this is the first shot I made when I went down, because they did not open the sarcophagus until I arrived, and me and Muzahim himself, we moved the stone aside. And then glancing in this inside, this was the first shot again from inside. Remember, this is a beautiful mirror, copper with very nice handle. We'll see the details later. But what was this black thing here? We will see later. Now, in excavating in the sarcophagus itself, we found that this was old textile, this black material. And we were finding small gold rosettes within here. We had over 700 of those small rosettes. Now, the first time we displayed this in the Iraq Museum, one day, just accidentally, I was in that hall, and there was a family, a lady with a husband and two girls, watching there. And then I listened to the lady in a Maslawi dialect. People from Mosul said, look, my God, these are exactly like the roses we had on our bed sheet. I went back to her. I said, what you said? I'm from the museum. She said, they look exactly like the ones that we used to do in Mosul and decorate with cheap gold, but it's gold, decorate our bed sheets when we get married. So now this is the connection. That was the queen's bed sheet tied and put over her. See, and we have, I think, 770 something of these rosettes, and each one of them had a ring behind to be sewed to that bed sheet.